Bayside Murders, Red Herring. Thank you for joining us tonight as we continue hunting the Butcher of Bayside. I am Alexander Thomas, and as always, I will be your humble game master. If this is your first stream with us, welcome to Titan City. Titan City is a fantasy noir superhero setting where magical heroes are just as likely to confront mobsters as they are monsters from myth, or in tonight's case, an elusive serial killer. Tonight we will be playing Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition, the world's greatest superhero RPG, developed by the folks over at Green Ronin Publishing. And before we get started, I just wanted to give everyone a friendly reminder that Yukon registration is still open. Our GMs are running 16 events at this convention, which is absolutely free to attend. If you've ever wanted a chance to play in one of our games, I urge you to head over to yukon-gaming.org to register. I've shared a list of all of our events, including their event numbers, in our private Discord, so please peruse that, and I hope to see some of you at the show. We have a phenomenal group of heroes gathered tonight. Say hi, heroes.
Hello.
If you want to know more about them, please head over to our social media pages or ask about them on our Discord channel. Needless to say, they are all spectacular, even as they are catching my poor NPCs in their lies and forcing me to walk back everything I've ever said. So without further ado, I think we can go. Oh, I'm so glad our sound worked the first try. So happy about that. So last week, we opened with a devastating battle between our Amazons and a group of rampaging vampires led by the terrible Eleanor Dubois, which was almost deadly to our investigators. Fortunately, they managed to force Eleanor into her mist form and ended the violence before things got way out of hand. Afterwards, they finally slept and continued looking into the elusive killer who was missing. The Amazons met once more with Detective Roy and shared evidence from the other victims. They also got the chance to decode 2 more of the Butcher's letters, and a pattern began to emerge. The Butcher has been leaving clues to his future crime scenes in his letters, and the Amazons were able to figure out that the next site was the Harrison Tempered Steel Factory in Bayside. They put that on the back burner, however, to track down the missing Dr. Hastings. Turns out his valet, Ryunosuke, posted his bail and drove him home. They returned to Sacred Heart University and searched Hastings' office. Someone had rifled through his documents and left in a hurry. Ryu interrupted their tossing of the office, and the gang forced him to take them to Dr. Hastings' estate in Collingdale. The group found a secret tunnel that led them into a subterranean lab, where Ryu revealed himself to be complicit in the good doctor's escape, and maybe not exactly what he presented himself as. Before they could do much with Ryu, they continued down into the subterranean vaults, and they found the body of Dr. Hastings within his lab, along with a letter signed, "A Friend." So that's where we sort of open, with the Amazons deep in this sort of stone, sewerish subterranean vault, deep beneath the estate of Dr. Richard Hastings. You guys are sort of moving along, poking Ryu along ahead of you with a torch in his hand. And as you guys are making your way through, you do see this big stone room has a number of different pulsating electrical pylons. There's big machines that are going through various bits of code and things. And all around are these stitched together homunculi, these people built of various body parts with sort of drab gray skin, and they're all just standing silently around in clumps. They don't seem to notice your guys' presence. What would you like to do?
So, Ritsuko is actually going to step out and sort of insert herself between the Amazons and Ryu. But she's facing Ryu, and she looks around at the homunculi and looks at Ryu and says, "So is this how you want the people that we care about to live?"
Of course not. Of course not. These are subjects.
These are subjects.
And unfortunately, I think they were probably too long gone by the time Dr. Hastings began his process upon them.
But don't you see how wrong it is? These were all people at some point. Somebody's loved one, somebody's friend, teacher. And now they're reduced to piles of flesh that just have no life, no soul. And this is all in the name of science or to get the power to raise the dead?
We're still working on the formula, on the process.
No, don't you see though? You were talking about the cost. Remember, we were talking about the cost. This is the cost. It cost Hastings his life to do this. A life that he could have spent with family, with friends, doing things, world, and now it's snuffed out. And I thought you were dead, and I was so excited, petrified, honestly, to know that you were still alive. I thought it had to have been a dream. And you can kind of see that she's starting to get like frantic and shaky and her eyes watering. And you're here right in front of me in the flesh, alive, breathing, heartbeat, soul and all. Hell that it's you. You wanted to know what the price was. You said that I didn't age a day. Well, that's the price. There is beauty in life. There is also beauty in death. And here's the price that I had to pay. I don't get to die, not the way that you do. I have to die in some violent manner because that was the price I paid, because I felt that your sacrifice deserved more than just me living out my life. So I sacrificed my life for others. You have an opportunity, Ryu. You have an opportunity to go out there, have a family, be with your friends, die at an old age, surrounded by those that you love. I don't get that. There's beauty in death, but not like this.
Well, that's the cruel part, isn't it? Because you're the only person I ever cared about.
And you are the only one that I've cared about. And yeah, it is cruel. Here we are. I would rather see you grow to be an old man. I would rather see you die peacefully now with your family around you than see you waste your life to bring back everybody else.
Two things. I'm going to give you a hero point.
Well, thank you.
And I would like for you to roll an insight check, please.
Okay, I can do that. Why? Where's my character sheet? There it is.
It's in there doing character sheet things.
Yeah. Insight. I rolled a 19.
With the 19, as you're looking at Ryu, you can tell that's definitely hit him, but the way he reacts doesn't seem like what you would expect. Almost like something's misfiring in his brain.
Hmm. I see.
And he kind of holds the torch up and he looks around. You see he sort of wipes a single manly tear out of his corner of his eye. And he says, well, we should go see what's become of Dr. Hastings, and we'll see if all of this barbarism was for naught.
Very well. Amelia, would you please lead the way? Ryu will be behind you.
Yep. And I'm gonna like squeeze your arm as I walk by. It's like a comforting type thing, and then I'm gonna walk over to where Dr. Hastings' body is.
Awesome. So yeah, Dr. Hastings' body is down here in this corner, sort of to the southwest of where you guys are. And Ryu will follow so the light can go with him.
All right. So when I get there, what do I see?
Yeah, so you see Hastings is sort of strapped onto this medical table in between two Tesla coils, and there's leather straps that are holding his arms down, and somebody has gone through the great effort of hollowing out his central chest cavity, breaking apart his ribs, and placing a black, green, and pink jewelry box in the chest cavity. The rest of his organs appear to be missing, and there is a letter on top of the jewelry box that's signed A. Friend.
I'm just gonna look at Ryu, and I'm gonna say, well, you were apparently the last person to see him alive. So why shouldn't we suspect that you did this?
Ritzko stays very quiet in this line of questioning.
He looks and he says, "Well, I don't know. I wasn't here for all of this. I mean, I was at the grocery store. You can check if you want."
Mm-hmm.
And then I went straight to the university.
Mm-hmm. How long has it been since Dr. Hastings was bailed out of jail?
He was bailed out this morning around 8 o'clock, so it's been about 5 hours.
Okay, so you were at the grocery store for like 4 hours?
Well, I bailed him out at 8 o'clock. I drove him home. That was an hour. Then I drove another hour back into town,
Mm-hmm.
did my grocery store thing, drove back to the university, and then drove you guys back here, which is about 45 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
I would really have to squeeze to make that happen.
Do you have any idea who could have done this to him?
It's got to be the butcher, right?
Not necessarily, but is there any that perhaps came to the house? Anybody that you overheard him speaking to on the phone? Anyone he said he will meet?
He did mention that he had to meet a colleague at the Covenswell Cemetery a couple of weeks ago, but nothing more than his usual late night escapades.
So, any name potentially on this person he met 2 weeks ago?
He didn't tell me. He said it was a colleague.
Convenient. Okay, I want to get as close as I can to Hastings, and can I roll a perception check to see if I see anything else?
For sure. Are you looking just to see anything else associated with him, or are you trying to do like a medical examination?
I want to do as much of a medical examination as I can, but I also want to see if there's anything is he wearing clothes, I'm assuming?
He is wearing clothes.
So I want to check in his pockets and that kind of thing.
Awesome. So we're going to make that an investigation check for the examination, and we'll do a treatment check just to see what sort of medical information you can glean on his body.
Okay. So investigation.
And Ilva, are you hiding in the shadows back there on purpose, or are you?
No, I thought you were moving everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Ilva.
Awesome. So Amelia, with a 9 on your investigation, as you're sort of examining this body, you don't find any additional information. You kind of go through his pockets. They've been emptied, strangely enough, almost intentionally. It looks like as you were going to reach into the pockets, some of them have been pulled out, like somebody grabbed something from one of his pockets. And this is a much nicer suit than you saw him in at going through the tunnel. But that could be because he was grave robbing that night. It could be because somebody put him in a nicer suit. It's hard to tell. With a 21 treatment check, you're able to ascertain that he's probably only been dead for about an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Ryu if this is the sort of suit that he normally wears, or if this is special.
Now that you mention it, that does look a lot nicer than what he usually wears. He doesn't do very well in public, thanks to the grave robbing thing.
Is there anything I would actually like to go ahead and do my own investigation of, of Hastings' body, being very mindful not to disturb anything that potentially could be important.
Mhm.
So I will roll my investigation check. And I rolled a 22.
Furry bear.
22 investigation. Awesome. So you're sort of looking around. You're actually able to determine that the suit he's wearing is not an American brand. You sort of are going through, checking his pockets, checking through his lapels and stuff, and you find a label on his inside lapel that isn't a Japanese character.
And what does the Japanese character say?
Oh, you asked me too fast. It basically boils down to like crane tailoring.
Crane tailoring.
Which you recognize as being a tailor company from your hometown. No, it's 1922, so there's no international Japanese brands, but it's odd to you that this would be what he's wearing right now.
Well, this is curious. And she motions to Ryu and shows him the character. Oh, you know what this is?
Yeah, it's the same kind of suit that I wear.
It is.
Not the same color, but it's the same company. And he'll confirm the label on his as well.
Alex, what do the H's represent?
Those are the various gray humans that are stitched together and standing motionless in place.
Okay, because I can kind of see them over there. Can I go over to those other two tables and see what's on there?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Why would this label would not be very readily available here in the United States?
No.
So how would he come by this suit?
Do you need investigation or perception?
Investigation for you. Ritsuko, when you ask Ryu that, he says, well, I believe Dr. Hastings traveled to Japan a couple of times. Maybe he picked it up there.
Is that where you met him?
Ryu kind of looks down and he looks confused when you ask that question.
Are we sure that Ryu is alive and he's not like a successful Dr. Hastings experiment?
Has anyone checked his pulse?
Right, like.
Well, I touched his hand. Was his hand warm?
It was warm.
Okay.
I mean, you can't really fake that. What do you...
Yeah, but which hand is it? Because if it's the one holding the torch, that's kind of close to fire. So, like...
I would assume it's the opposite hand.
They're both holding the torch.
Maybe he had just taken his hand off the torch.
Yeah. See?
Oh no. Do I have enough medical expertise to check for a pulse?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's really not that hard. I'm gonna check.
So you go to grab Ryu's wrist and you start holding on to try and find his pulse. And you wait for a good long while and you don't feel any beating whatsoever.
I'm just gonna look at Ritsuko. And I'm gonna be like, okay. And I'm gonna join Yova over there at those tables.
Awesome. Yova, if you want to give me that, you got a 17 on your investigation check. So you start going through those tables, looking around. The homunculi standing around you don't pay you guys any mind. Do you want to put yourselves over there by the tables?
No.
And as you're sort of looking around, it looks like there are a bunch of journals and reagents, and it looks like there's a mortal and pestle and some vials that have various different colored liquids inside them.
Ah. I
So-
made it dark. You said journals?
Yeah, there are some journals around.
Can I flip through some of those?
Mhm.
Do you need anything?
I need a science check or a treatment check.
Okay.
Uh,
It's a 14.
With the 14, as you're going through them, it's definitely written in some kind of doctor's shorthand. You're not sure exactly what it means, but you think it's a lot of different medical formulas and mathematical equations and chemical levels and stuff like that. It's a little hard to get wrap your head around what exactly he's written down here, but you can tell it's definitely something related to the experiments.
Cool.
You do see a lot of voltage numbers.
Is Ryu's name anywhere in the journals? Or is there like an R?
I'm going to give you a hero point, Amelia.
Thanks.
That's bad.
Right.
As you're flipping through it, you don't see any mentions of the name Ryu, but you do see there are a bunch of R's with numbers beside them on one table. You kind of flip to one page, and there's a chart in there that has R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, R6. And each of them has a chemical formula written beside them. You see a date written next to the chemical formula, and then you see a check mark or an X going down the list.
Okay. I'm gonna can I pull Ritzko aside and talk to her privately?
I don't know. Can you?
Will you come with me?
Yes, I suppose.
I'm gonna go over here. in the
Where?
shadows.
I don't know if that's a wise idea.
That's in the
Okay.
muck, if that matters.
Fine,
It
I'll
matters
go
to my
over
tabby
here.
socks, so yes, it does. What is it?
So your boyfriend doesn't have a pulse, and I'm beginning to suspect that he's one of Dr. Hastings' successful projects.
No, that's impossible. His hand was warm.
Can't explain that, but
It was
he
under the
literally
fire.
doesn't have a heartbeat. Which makes me wonder if we could bring Dr. Hastings back, but he doesn't have any organs, so probably not.
I don't want to play with that kind of stuff, and I honestly don't even believe what I'm hearing.
You can go check for yourself.
As you say that, Ryu throws the torch into the water.
Beautiful.
Well, dang it.
And you guys hear a swell of music.
I sense
Raise
initiative
up.
is coming.
It is coming. And from a bunch of the different machines around you guys, you hear this music begin to swell and rise up. And as it does, all of the homunculi raise their heads and they let out this guttural, roaring scream. Sort of this just human suffering scream that echoes throughout the sewer where you guys are. And with that, I would like for you guys to roll initiative, please.
Rude.
And make sure you click on your tokens first.
I was clicked on my token. Did it not do it?
No, it did it. Yep, it
Okay.
popped up.
All right, cool. I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 16.
And I have 12. No. But do all of the H's have?
Yes, all of the H's go on 19.
Oh, okay. So not each individual H.
All right. Coolio. So on initiative first, let me put you guys in descending order. We have the H's, the homunculi.
Oh no.
Ilva, that group of 4 right beside you, they all swarm you. And they sort
Well,
of get down low and they scream like World War Z zombies.
You know that stuff freaks me out.
I know. And they're attacking as a group, so they go at a +2 to whatever they roll here. A 23 to hit your parry.
Well, I gotta pull it back up because my parry is 19. So yeah.
Awesome. So please give me a toughness check. You're looking for a DC 25.
Oh no. Please take one.
I will go ahead and take your luck point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let it go. Seriously?
Well, it becomes a 22, so that's okay. You will take a bruise, but it could have been way, way worse.
Ugh.
So yeah, they let out this horrible screech, and all 4 of them sort of leap out at you. A couple grab you by your arms, and a few of them are just beating on your chest and on your shoulders.
Okay, but I am going to scream back at them because
And then the other group of 4 right next to you is going to do the same thing.
no.
They only got a 17 to hit your parry, though, so they will miss you.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, this group over here is going to come roaring out of the dark at Amelia, splashing down into the water where she is. Again, boom, 22 to hit your parry.
My parry is 22.
So give me a toughness DC 25.
15.
So that's going to be a bruise and a daze if you don't want to reroll.
I guess I will not read. I'm fine. I'll just stay dazed.
And more homunculi come swarming out of the darkness. These ones again on Amelia. 24 to hit that time.
Yep.
So another toughness save DC 25.
That one's an 18.
So because you're already bruised and dazed, you only take a bruise. It would have been a bruise and a daze, but you can't get dazed twice.
Great. Okay.
Now we got some more coming out of the darkness.
Why are they making like numbing noises?
Because they're going to try to eat you guys.
Okay.
These ones are on Ritzko with a 12 to hit. That's not going to work. No, these ones aren't going to swarm. They have another plan. These ones run over here, and they're going to put out this light.
Beautiful.
And then one more group over here is going to put out this light. Okay. That is the homunculi. Amelia, what would you like to do?
Can I still shield bash people if I can't see them?
You can, but you'll just get a -2 to hit, unless you have the blind finding advantage.
I don't think that I do. I do not. Okay, well, I'll just do that then. I rolled a 28.
So that becomes a 26. Awesome. That'll hit. So that group of homunculi will roll a toughness save, DC 22. They got a 29.
Wow.
So you're slamming your shield. You're trying to get some air as these beings are just pressing against you, trying to rip you apart with their bare hands. And you're bashing and slashing, but it doesn't seem to have any effect on the press of arms and bodies approaching you.
Don't like this.
And then your daze drops off at the end of your turn, but because you were dazed, you can only take a standard or move action.
Okay.
Ilva.
I'm going to use my standard arrows because they're multi-attack.
Awesome. Do you have the blind fighting advantage?
I don't. It would say down below, wouldn't it?
If it doesn't say down below, it would say on your second sheet under advantages.
Powers and advantages. Swing line arrows?
That's for like moving like Spider-Man, swinging from building to building.
Sweet. But no, I don't.
Awesome. So go ahead and roll to hit. You do get a -2 to hit whatever you roll.
Fine. 17.
17 is enough to hit their dodge. And with your multi-attack, it is enough to get a +2 bonus to damage. So damage DC 23. They take a bruise. So one homunculus drops out of the group.
Yay.
What happens?
Well, as they all descended on me, like I was kind of backed into a corner, so I loaded all my arrows at once. I just kind of shot in their direction.
Awesome. And you definitely hear something hit, and you hear some of the bodies stop pressing against you.
Awesome.
Perfect. So after Ilva is Ritsuko.
Let me make sure I'm not on mute. No, I'm not. So this is how you choose to break my heart again. I see how this is. I can't believe that you would do something so cruel, so vile. Ritsuko has a key blast, and I'm willing to spend a hero point if I can essentially create a key blast of pure rage and anger and just have it start from her body and echo out, knowing that she's surrounded. To try to, number one, illuminate things for me. And I know she's there, but she's tough cookie. She can handle it. And hopefully also maybe push. I think the thing is more about pushing them away than harming them. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're trying to basically power stunt your key blast as like a burst area move object.
Yes.
Just move everything away from you guys to give you guys a little bit of breathing room.
Yes.
Perfect. So will you go ahead and click on that key blast power for me?
What was that?
Will you go ahead and click on that key blast power for me?
Sure, I can do that. And if anybody gets knocked prone, I won't be upset. I rolled a 22. DC 23.
Awesome. So because we're turning it into a burst area effect, I just wanted to see what the effect was as DC 23. So we're going to do some quick Mutants and Masterminds mental math. It's a close range burst area, so they're going to have to roll, the three groups roll a dodge save versus DC 18 first to see what happens. So dodge, dodge, dodge. One group made the save, so they will dodge against they will roll a toughness save against half of the effect. The other two will roll toughness against the full effect. So 23s for the third and the first one. Boom, boom. All right. So those two groups flies away. That's a 13 versus a 23 is 2 degrees. So two of them are taken out of the fight. The other ones are just blasted away. 20 versus a 23 means that one of them is out of the fight and the other three are blasted away. And then the top group rolls a toughness versus DC 19.
Yes.
They're blasted away and one of them is taken out of the fight. Awesome. So what does it look like as that happens?
Well, so she, like I said, so she's yelling out at Ryu that she is, this is how he breaks her heart, and so she basically starts to glow, and you can see her fists, or her palms are. She's basically clutching her fists, and her eyes are shut tight. She's crying, and all of a sudden, this bright blast exudes from her and just blows everything away from her and Amelia.
Awesome. And because you spent a hero point, I'm going to go ahead and say that you are generating light now.
Cool.
So you are Super Saiyan up.
Woohoo!
Thank Ritzko.
You're welcome. See, I am useful in a fight.
Where's my vampire
Last night didn't count.
at? Ryu. At this point, Ryu is going to abandon all notion that he might be a man named Ryu. And he sort of charges forward on all fours, looks up at you guys, and you see his eyes have been overtaken with this black inkiness. And he's going to launch himself onto Amelia.
Yeah, that seems right.
You're tough. You got this. And Ryu. Ryu will go ahead and use 2 points of all-out attack and 2 points of power attack. Oh, no. Here we go. He only got a 16 to hit, though. So he comes down, he lands, and you see as he's moving through the air, his hands kind of morph a little bit. And instead of just being fleshy homunculi hands, the tips of his fingers emerge, the bones shoot out of the front of his fingertips, and they turn into these sort of sharp claws, and he rakes them down your shield. The homunculi. This group of four is going to charge Ritzko. These other ones are going to spend the round standing up. I'm going to make them spend the whole round doing that because they're in the muck and the mud over there. And they're a little shell-shocked. Slam. 19 to hit Ritzko's parry.
I believe that will. My parry. Am I looking at the parry DC?
Yes, yep.
Mine's a 22.
With the 22, you're okay. This second group is going to come up and they're going to roll to aid Ryu in attacking Amelia. So they're going to hold their action until Ryu's turn.
Okay.
The three who got shot by Ilva, they're going to roll to hit, but they don't get the +2 to their to hit anymore, just to their defenses and to their damage. 16 is not enough to hit Ilva's parry. The second group with Ilva, 22 to hit your parry.
Is that toughness?
Yeah, it'll be a toughness save, DC 23.
And with a bruise? Jesus. 11.
11? That's going to be a stagger. So you take your bruise and you take a stagger, which means that you're dazed for the rest of the fight.
And I'm sorry, where do I put that?
So on your sheet underneath your abilities, you should see something that says injuries. If you click that up to 2, that'll give you your 2
Where?
bruises. It's on the first page, stats and skills.
Mm-hmm.
It's
right
above
underneath
where your
presence.
parry DC is.
Yeah. You can put your bruises in there, and then in the notes and conditions box down here in the bottom right, you can put staggered.
I don't have any of those.
On the first page that says stats and skills.
Yep, it says nothing.
Oh, wait, that's Ritsko. Ilva. Are you seeing what I'm seeing, babe? So the top tab, it says character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath that, stats and skills, you see strength, agility, fighting, awareness.
Yes.
And then the row right underneath presence, there's injuries all the way on the right.
Okay.
And then in the bottom right corner, not all the way at the bottom, but right underneath the skills box, there's the notes and conditions section where it says English and Norwegian.
So where am I putting like injuries is
Injuries is your bruises, and
okay.
then staggered is in the conditions box.
What does that mean? Like
So that means that you're only going to be able to move or attack each round until
Okay.
the fight's over.
thank
And
you.
if you get staggered again, you'll be knocked unconscious.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's all the homunculi. Amelia.
Okay, so I can like reach Ryu from here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna like smile and I'm gonna say I'm gonna enjoy this, and then I'm gonna slam him. Hopefully, got a
Come on,
24.
That will slam Ryu.
DC 22.
He got a
Ugh.
27.
Stop, Alex.
I'm sorry. It's the random number generator. What happens as you attack him and he doesn't take any damage?
I'm just gonna like take my shield and like try to like bash it into his face,
Nice.
and then it doesn't work.
And then you're not dazed anymore, so you can move if you want.
Nope, I'm gonna stay right here.
Perfect. Ilva, what would you like to do?
I would like to not be attacked anymore. So I'm gonna do my multi-attack again.
Awesome. Are you going to attack one group, or do you want to attack all three groups with your multi-attack?
I'm attacking the group that's closest to me.
Awesome. I'm just asking if you want to do a single target or if you wanted to take the -3 and hit all three of them at the same time.
Well, I've been rolling really shitty, so just I don't know. I can't see anyway, so whatever. Okay,
Awesome. You rolled a 30.
cool. Maybe I should be in the dark more often.
And because you multi-attacked one target with that 30, you do get a +5 damage to them. So it's DC 26 instead of 21.
Awesome.
And that group rolls a 14. That's enough to take out that group.
Awesome.
And you have takedown, so you can attack another group.
Yes. Let's do that. 26.
That's another +5 damage.
Yay.
So 26. I rolled a 17. You take out 2 members of that group. So what does it look like as you start firing into the darkness, just taking out homunculi left and right?
Well, I don't know. All I can see is like shadows in front of me. Like, I just start firing. I mean, I know that it's not friendly fire because no one announced themselves.
Right. So basically, I just started blasting.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ritsko.
So what I would like to do is would like to jump really far. Actually jump behind Ryu. And I am going to use my key blast on him, or a key strike rather, sorry. So that's a 23, DC 25.
23 will hit. DC's 25. He gets a 23, so he takes a bruise. What happens?
So Ritzko basically vaults up and over doing like one of those really cool somersaults and then lands behind him and then just swings at the back of his head. Just with all, she's just angry right now.
Awesome. And the flash goes off. You see the lights light up just a little bit more. And I would like everybody to roll a perception check, please.
I got a 22.
I got a 28.
Dang, girl.
Well, she's all fired up now.
And Ilva got a 19. Awesome. You guys notice as Ritzko's key energy has been filling up this space, the Tesla coils behind you guys have started to spin up and they've started to generate some electricity between the two of them, creating an even brighter light over there. So do with that information what you will.
I just like to be able to see.
Ryu, on his turn, he is going to keep directing his claws towards Amelia. With a 26 to hit that time.
Yep.
So DC 27 toughness save, please.
I'm gonna use my hero point because I rolled a 9. That's a 16.
And I think it becomes a 26. Yeah, because you rolled a 10 on the dice. Or no, you rolled a 6 on the dice and got a plus 10. So yeah, with a 26, you get a -1 bruise. So one more bruise.
I rolled a 16 on the dice.
Right, but that's with your modifier added in.
Okay.
Yeah, looking at it, it looks like you rolled a 10 on the dice.
Okay, I'm just gonna let you do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, when you use a hero point, if you get a 1 through 10, you get to add 10. So you're pretty much guaranteed to do better, unlike inspiration in D&D.
Okay, I'll just let you do your thing.
Perfect. So yeah, Ryu, he comes in, he starts slashing and thwacking at you with his bone claws. And the more he attacks you, the more flesh begins to fall off of his forearms and hands. The homunculi. These three are going to charge in and attack Amelia. With a 26 to hit.
Okay, I need you to stop.
DC is 25 with her +2 bonus.
15.
That's another bruise and a daze.
Really coming after me, huh?
I like to think I'm coming after everyone, but another group here is going to rush in and attack Ritzko. Boom, group of 4. 17's not going to hit. Another group attacking Amelia. 23 to hit. So that's going to be one more toughness at DC 25.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you said Ritzko. My bad. 10.
So that's going to be a bruise and a stagger. Unless you
Great.
want to use your last hero point to reroll.
Oh, I guess I will reroll. I forgot that I had one more. Let it go. 16.
That time you rolled a 12 on the dice, so you don't get to add 10, but you do get a bruise and a daze instead of a bruise and a stagger. So
Okay.
you're getting swarmed by homunculi. The other groups down here that are with Ilva, they're going to keep swarming. Looks like there's 2 who may attack. So one group, 18 to hit your parry, DC, Ilva.
Nope. Does that change with a stagger?
No, it does not.
Okay, the 19 is my parry.
Then the second group gets a natural 20, gets a
Yeah.
28. So they can't get a crit because they're a group of minions, but you do take a DC 25 toughness save.
Alex, you know you're only like 30 feet away from me, right?
Consider that a
16.
threat.
Well, it's just a bruise and a daze, so I get to live one more day.
I hope you're looking at my face.
I am. So the homunculi come charging out of the darkness, charging out of the light. They're just swarming around Ilva, swarming around Amelia, swarming around Ritzko. Everybody's trying to tear everybody's head off in this deep, dark sewer drain. Amelia.
Okay. So I want to use my shield. And I want to like spin around and hit as many people as I can. So what do I do for that?
Awesome. Does your shield bash have multi-attack?
Yes.
Cool. So
Well, no, my shield toss has multi-attack.
we'll just
I'm
call
going
it
to do that with my sword, actually. That's definitely better.
Awesome. So there are 2 groups here attacking you. No, 3 groups attacking you. So you can choose to attack all 3 groups if you want. You'll get a -3 to the roll, and you'll roll each time to hit the groups. But each one that hits, they'll have to roll a toughness save.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Awesome. So just take 3 off of whatever you roll here on Roll20.
28.
Oh, okay, sure.
13 and 27. Oh no, 28 again.
So the 13's not going to hit, but the 2 28s are definitely going to hit. So DC 22 for those 2 groups. Boom. That's 2 down. All right, so both of those groups lose 2 members. What happens?
So I'm just like real mad and like sort of desperate at this point. So I just sort of literally just stick my shield out and just like use as much force I can to like slam around in a circle.
Awesome. And gray stitched together body parts are just flying everywhere.
Sounds good.
And then your daze drops off at the end of the round. Ilva.
All right. Eva's totally over this shit. Yeah, I'm going to do the multi-attack again.
Awesome. You also have 3 groups around you.
That's a 31.
Yeah, it sure is. That is a 31.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because I told you that was enough. I'm done.
All right, let me see how this group does. So since you're doing, I forgot, you're doing 1 target at a time because you have takedown as an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a DC 26. They got a 27.
Dang it.
So the arrows go flying out. They hit their targets, but it doesn't seem to slow down any of the grasping hands reaching you from the darkness.
I'm going to yell to my girls. Just so you know, those yells are not coming from the things attacking us. That's me.
I need help. I need an adult.
We're doing our best here. We're a little swarm too.
Right.
I am the adult, guys. I'm the oldest.
There's no zombies in Ragnarok. Perfect. So Ilva, after you is Ritzko.
Okay. So because I did that power stunt, I still have that ability, yes?
I'm going to say yes as a house rule. Rules is written, it ends after you use it.
Ah, okay.
But I like the idea of spending the hero point to get it for the scene.
Okay.
So
So
that's how we do it at my table. I know that's not how it is in the book.
Gotcha. So what I would like to do is I would like to do it again. So I'm going to roll my Key Blast.
You're doing the burst area one?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that was a 16 DC 23.
So I have got 3 groups over there next to you. Let me check. Yeah, just those 3 groups next to you. That doesn't quite reach the ones that are killing Yilva. So first group, dodge. Second group, dodge. Third group, dodge. And then Ryu, dodge. Awesome. So all 3 of the homunculi groups will roll toughness against the DC 23. First group, second group, third group.
Wow.
Lame.
Ryu will roll against toughness 19. He'll take a bruise. So the power flares out of you again. And as it does, you see it generates more light in the dungeon. The sewer, dungeon, lab, whatever you want to call it. And it sort of hits Ryu and it begins peeling more of this gray flesh off of his body. Uh, 45 plus 30 is 75. And the Tesla coils begin to generate more light as well.
So, do I have the ability to move?
Yes, because you weren't dazed.
Okay. So I am. Let's see. I think we decided that my movement was what was it? I don't know why. Like I totally forgot what my movement was.
I think you can move like 250 feet around.
Yeah, it was like something ridiculous.
So 25 squares.
Yeah. So I'm basically just gonna move over this way to engage on this side of things.
Okay. Perfect. So you begin engaging on the other side of things.
Here, Amelia's got it handled over there.
Mm-hmm.
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Ryu. Yeah, he's gonna keep mauling Amelia.
Mm.
He's gonna crank it up to 5 points of all out and 5 points of power though.
Mm.
Because he is losing all pretense of being anything other than a monster. No. 28 to hit.
Oh my god.
DC 30 toughness save, please.
20.
That's only a bruise and a daze, so that could have been way, way worse.
Guys, just tell me when I need to go upstairs, okay?
Have 6 bruises, bro.
Been there.
Oh my god.
And
You're the tank. You're supposed to.
Ryu's going to go
dying.
fatigued, and he's going to do it again.
Oh my god.
21 to hit your parry that time.
Whew. 22.
So he's swarming in. He's losing his mind, and more flesh is sloughing off of his bones. You see the muscles beginning to drop out into the sewage below him.
Ew.
The homunculi continue swarming. Let me get these ones out of the way so I can put more in the way.
Mm.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 2 groups are going to reach out and attack Amelia. 19 and 14 to hit your parry, DC.
19 and 14?
Yep.
No.
This group's going to wheel around and try and get Ritzko. 21 to hit your parry, DC. Or sorry, 23 to hit your parry, DC.
I don't like you, Alex, because I have a 22, so it hits.
So toughness, DC 25, please.
I rolled.
Awesome. Well, the 27, you're okay. They wheel around, they start banging in your direction, beating down on you, and your
And I'm just
crazy cool
knocking.
ninja chick.
Yeah.
Ah, you one of them Suwa ninjas.
Shut up.
And the last group's going to attack Ilva. And get a 25 to hit your parry DC.
Get away from me.
DC 25 toughness save, please.
Ah, 25.
You're good. So you're taking the hits, but a combination of your armor and your just Amazonian training and resolve, them punching you isn't doing as much damage as it was. Amelia.
I'm gonna do the same thing as last time because I'm still like super panicked.
Guys, I have an idea.
What?
Get them all in the muck, in the water.
Uh-oh.
How?
Put yourself in the water. Dude, we can jump really high. They can't. If we electrocute the water, we short circuit them.
Uh-huh.
All right.
How are we gonna electrocute the water?
Any one of these machines?
There's electricity, and I'm apparently fueling it. So let's do this.
Throw them in the water and find a toaster.
And if you need my arrows, I'm there.
I guess I will come over here.
Oh, they'll follow you. You're their
I don't
punching bag.
know. But I don't know how far I want to go to get as many of them in the water as I can.
Go to the center of the pool. That's the widest spot. They'll swarm you.
Fine. You electrocute me though.
I'm telling you, you can jump and get out, like cling to something on the ceiling or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll move to the grate.
Great. Awesome.
And I'm dazed, so I can't do anything else.
Cool. So you move in that direction. Your daze does drop off at the end of the round. So Ilva, you're up.
Yeah. How do I get out of there?
Jump.
You can also leap 30 feet, so you can leap over their heads if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I'd like to do that. Where am I going? Like here-ish?
That puts them in the water.
Yeah. That's what we need.
Awesome. And you are staggered, so you sort of leap up over the homunculi's, swarming fists, land, splash into the sewage muck, turn around, and you do see the homunculi look like they're going to chase you.
Good.
Ritzko.
I am going to basically back up, but also be kind of like right over here. I'm trying to make sure to lead them all into the water, but still also be close enough so that I can rig my trap for them.
Awesome.
Do I see, since I've just moved, do I see anything that I could use as a conduit for the Like, are there any wires, cords? Are the Tesla coils like anything?
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
For a hero point.
For a hero point, yeah, sure.
Fine, since it's my wonky idea.
Oh no, won't let me steal your hero point anymore.
Ha ha! Well, the technological gods have spoken, Alex.
All right, I'm stealing it. There we go. I got it.
Damn.
Perfect. Okay, so your battle plan is to basically, as you're looking around, you do find there is a long power cable that runs to the two Tesla coils that connects them, and then it runs backwards into the lab. Freehand.
I was going to
Freehand
say,
red.
so where is this?
I just drew it on the map. Can you see it?
Yep.
It runs back there into the dark somewhere.
Okay. that means now I gotta go find it. Fuck.
But you
Oh,
suspect
sorry.
you could either try and run and find where it comes out and unplug it. You're allowed to say fuck, it's okay.
Okay.
Or you can come in and try and rip the cable apart, then throw half the cable into the water.
I think we'll do the latter. It's more
Awesome.
dramatic that way. All right, so that was my turn.
Awesome. So you're
Unless
standing
you're
in the
gonna
hole.
allow me, yeah, because they're not moving yet, so I have to wait for them to come to the water.
Yeah, they got one more turn to try to take you guys out before they all get deep fat fried.
We're in the south, y'all.
So Ryu is going to launch himself at Amelia, the object of his affection.
Hey, cheater.
Or object of his rage, maybe. Hard to say.
She's the one that ruined it, I suppose.
And he gets a 25 to hit your parry. Oh, Amelia, you got a natural 20 on your toughness save, which gives you a 22.
Ooh.
That's still a bruise in a daze, but that could have been way worse. And you know what? It's his last hurrah. He's going to go exhausted and try it again. He only got a 17 to hit you that time, though. So Amelia, he comes in. You see he's just working himself down to the bone, foaming at the mouth, dropping viscera and gore in the water around you. He's more skeleton than man at this point. Get these two out of the water here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, two groups attacking Amelia. Slam. 23 and 18. So one more toughness save for DC 25, please. That's another bruise and a daze. So the dazes don't stack up. So that could have been worse. This group's going to charge Ritzko. And this group's going to charge Ilva. Oh my god, that water is thick with homunculi. Ritzko, 10, it's not going to hit.
Nope.
Ilva, 15, it's not going to hit. All right, Amelia, what do you want to do?
Out of the water. You guys, on my turn. Pool time's over.
Out of the water.
Oh, the homunculi peed in the pool.
Adult swim's over. So, Amelia, you're jumping out of the water. Catherine, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, now I can.
I am indeed jumping out of the water.
Awesome. Sort of land there up on the stone. Ilva, what do you want to do?
Jumping out of the water.
It's a good move.
Like right here.
And then you're still staggered. Ritzko.
I will dart out for the cord, and I am going to attempt to. Can I use? Okay, so I guess here's a question that I have. If I use my power to break the cord, do I move action then to put the cord in the water? Like, how does that work?
I'll say it's part of the same attack.
Okay. So I'm going to use my key strike for it and pray. Ooh, that was an 18.
Perfect. 18 is definitely enough to hit the cable. It's a DC 30 toughness for the cable. It's a cable, so I roll a 12.
Woohoo!
You destroy the cable and you throw it into the water. the Tesla coils immediately power off.
You mean they discharge?
Well, the Tesla coils discharge their electricity, they power off, and the cable goes into the water, and all of the water begins to electrify, and you hear screams and roars, and then eventual silence fall over the room.
And Ritsuko basically just rolls over onto her back because I assume that she's pretty much, she dives for the cord. She splits it with her key strike, throws it into the water, and is just like praying that it does what she hopes it does.
Yes. And as you do that, the energy that's manifesting from you goes out. And you don't hear anything splashing or anything in the water, but you guys are left in darkness.
Yoga. Yeah, you're safe, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Amelia's just going to like groan and collapse.
He's alive. See, I told you, we cannot count that last battle. We just can't.
And I told you that Ryu was bad.
Shut up. It wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Mm-hmm. So,
they stole his face somehow.
who has a light source?
We just killed it.
Yeah. Now we can't go in the water either. So.
Nope. Look, I didn't think that far. We were all just getting our, rear ends handed to us. So, okay.
Okay. Is
You
there
don't-
any light from like the electricity current in the water?
You know what? I will say there's a little bit of light emanating from the water. But I can't make the water glow, so
Is it enough for me to see the way out?
yes.
Then let's do that.
Are you guys going to grab the letter that was left for you?
Yep.
Well, I'm assuming she saw the letter, right? Or because I don't know if I saw it on my investigation.
I mentioned it to everybody when you guys
Okay.
first walked into the room. It was just sitting on top of the
Since I'm near the body, I'll go ahead and grab it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you grab the letter, and as you grab the letter, are you guys going to try and make your way out of the sewer at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, unless there's anything else that we need to like look at. I mean, this is pretty much, there could be evidence here that might lead us to the perpetrator.
No, I think that's everything you guys need down here.
Okay.
Awesome. So you guys grab the letter and you begin making your way back to the surface, back to Hastings Mansion.
What
And I
does
think
the letter
that's-
say?
Oh, it says a lot of things, but I think that's a good time to take our break, and we'll read the letter when we come back.
When we reconvene after these words from our sponsors.
Yes. We do have a wonderful ad in the carousel now for PETA Yoga. If anybody in the Ohio area is looking for a yogi, I guess it doesn't even have to be in the Ohio
Doesn't
area
have
because
to
you
be
do
in Ohio.
virtual. Yeah, you do virtual
I do
sessions
virtual
right now,
yoga sessions. Yep.
and she is the best at it.
Well, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us while we went on our quick little break. Um, Ilva unfortunately had to go and deal with a medical emergency, but she's okay. We're going to continue with just Amelia and Ritzko as everybody emerges from the sewer. And Ilva will sort of be present and being broody as usual. So you guys emerge from the subterranean lab. You find yourselves back in the sort of beautiful mansion of Dr. Hastings. And I believe you guys had a letter.
Yes, we did. And since I have the letter, would you like me to read it?
Sure. I'm going to show it to the group too. Show it to the people at home if they can see it.
Olympus. I suppose you bitches think you're clever solving my puzzle for the wolf. I am beyond annoyed that you have forced my blade into the good doctor. Hastings had his uses, but his parts are all wrong for my work. Not to say high spark are without merit. That's an interesting one. I don't understand. I was quite enjoying my game, Wolf. I intended to work my way to you soon, but alas, you have awoken my curiosity. Wolf was never meant to find me, but if you want to join my work, I've given everything you need to find me. I will give you the best hospitality. A friend.
That's nice of him.
Indeed.
Force of Olympus is a nice touch.
Well, high sparts. Is this an English thing that I'm not understanding?
No.
Okay. High sparts. And then curiosity was capitalized. Well, we have other things to do.
Yeah, we need to go see Cecil still. Because we've been putting that off, so...
Well, all right. Well then, I guess let us. Where do we know where to find him?
Yeah, you guys were given an address for Cecil. He lives also in Collingdale, out here in the suburbs.
Oh well, then I suppose it works out.
Yep.
Let's go pay this man a visit.
Awesome. So yeah, you guys load back up into your car and you head off deeper into the Collingdale suburbs, sort of through these rolling green hills, widely spaced out houses, long yards, a lot of public parks, very open, sort of affluent area. And you make your way towards the part of the district that is closest to the city down in the south, sort of on the border of Collingdale and Olympus itself, which is the downtown district. And you find yourselves, as you guys are getting closer and closer, you do find that this appears to be some kind of apartment building. And judging from the characters around outside, it seems to be bachelor apartment structures. A lot of single guys around, a lot of one-room studio apartments. A lot of people just around, a lot of broken bottles on the ground, all sorts of fun stuff like that.
Charming.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, we'll go to the apartment, and I will rap on the door.
Go away.
No?
Again.
I had nothing to do with that, sir. You can just leave me alone.
I will continuously rap on the door, not stopping until somebody comes to the door.
So Ritzko is just beating out a rhythm on the door. After a few seconds of that continuous rocking, you the door sort of comes open a little bit. The little chain thing is still locked in. You see this very frightened, pale young man behind the door looking out at you guys.
Hello.
Are you Cecil?
Look, I already told that other Asian dude what was going on, okay? Just
Other,
go talk to him and leave me alone.
other Asian dude.
Yeah, that's right. Fancy suit, salt and pepper hair.
Well, we're working with Detective Wolf.
You know Detective Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh, you want persuasion?
Or intimidation, however you guys want to go about this.
Either or is not too good on my end, so let's try persuasion. And maybe it will roll. I rolled a 20.
Awesome. With a 20, he sort of looks at you, looks at Amelia, who you're with, who's, carrying this big golden shield and dressed like a warrior woman from ancient times.
Hell yeah.
He's like, oh, all right. Maybe you guys ain't with the Yakuza, but like, come in.
We go in. I'm assuming the apartment is not exactly to my liking.
Not one bit. There's a lot of open takeout containers around, a lot of overflowing ashtray stuffed with cigarette butts. There's about a quarter of a bottle of whiskey on the island on his little counter that goes into his kitchen. He takes this bottle of room temperature whiskey and just takes a drink out of it.
Ritzko chooses not to sit.
I'm sorry, you ladies want some? I think I got some clean cups.
No, please.
I think I got some cups. I don't know if I have any clean cups.
I'm fine. You said that this Asian man came to see you.
Yeah, after I reported the crime, he oh man, he was pissed.
He was angry. Why?
I said I shouldn't be putting my nose where it doesn't belong. Telling the cops about things I don't know what I understood.
I see. So you witnessed her being killed.
Yeah. She the guy. I don't think it was the same guy I talked to, but it was a tall guy, big black jacket, hat, hard to see, but he so I sure as shit saw that knife that he used to gut my poor Kathleen like that.
I see.
Were you stalking her?
I wasn't stalking Kathleen. No, I ran into her after she left with that big scary black chick.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that chick, Monica or whatever, broke into the house, lifted me up, and almost snapped my neck.
Okay, so she was with Kathleen the night of the murder?
No, the night that she left me, she was with her.
I see.
Look, I know you ain't supposed to put your hands on a woman. I know that. I know that deep down, and I lost my temper, all right. But I wanted to make things right between us, and apologize for what happened. I found a lot of things since back then.
Things?
Yeah, I got right with God. I've been trying to live my life right so I can be the man that Kathleen married.
I'm sorry, I don't recall asking.
Ritzko is gonna. I'd like to roll an insight to see if he's actually telling the truth.
Yeah, sure.
I rolled a 22.
The first thing you get is he is scared shitless of you guys, and just in general, it seems like as a person these days, he seems like very high anxiety, very easily wired. But you do think his intentions towards Kathleen in his own way, were benign.
Well, I am truly sorry that you had to witness such a horrific crime. I am also I would also like to extend to you our thanks for reporting her demise to the cops. Especially because without that, things could have been, the crime scene could have been tainted. We could have lost valuable evidence. I do believe that your intentions, I believe you. And for that, again, I say I'm sorry. So you said the Asian man came to you and he was very angry. Any reason why?
He said I was putting my nose in. He said I was putting my nose in business that wasn't my business, and I shouldn't
Okay,
have.
and so
I
that
shouldn't
was
have been
after
talking
you
to the cops.
after you reported the crime to the cops.
Yeah. He was pissed.
Was
said,
he there? Did you see him?
I didn't see him until he came to my apartment.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can recall from the crime scene, from the person you saw? Was there any recognition from Kathleen about that man that she was with?
Nothing like that. She was coming from a job at the university at Sacred Heart.
Mm-hmm.
She came up that way, and she was carrying some kind of bag, some kind of like a doctor's bag. He took that with him. I know she's been working on getting her degree with that doctor guy, that Hastings or whatever.
Yes, that is correct. She was his assistant.
I heard he was a grave robber back across the Atlantic, right?
Yeah, there are rumors about that.
You think that was in that bag? Do you think she was robbing graves too?
It's hard to say.
I don't think that's any of your business.
Amelia. Was there anything else that you noticed about Kathleen, perchance if you happened to run into her before the murder? Was there anything amiss, anything that was odd about her behavior?
She seemed nervous, but I guess I just chalked that up to her noticing me because we made eye contact that one time, and I wanted to go talk to her, but I wasn't, I didn't want to piss her off anymore than she already was. There's one thing. The guy in the black coat, the butcher or whatever they're calling him, he didn't head back into Bayside. He headed north from the crime scene. He went I think he was heading up towards Stonemore.
So to where?
Stonemore. At least in that direction. I don't know where he would have been going. There ain't nothing out there but a bunch of abandoned mansions and shit, but
interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. If by chance you come across any more information or remember details about what happened that night, definitely contact the detective and he'll be in touch with us.
no offense, lady, but I don't think the detective is doing shit about this. I don't think he can. I don't think he is. I don't know if it's him or if it's the department, but I don't think any of them can handle any of what's going on.
She smiles. That's why we're here.
Yeah, well, you get this
Let's
bastard.
just say he's reporting to us more so than we report to him.
Yeah, I'll call him up if I can think of anything else. But just get this bastard. Just hurt him.
Indeed. Amelia, do you have any other further questions?
Nope.
Then I bid you good day. And she'll bow to him and to take her leave.
And as soon as you guys are out in the hallway, you hear the lock back up on the door.
I think his name will now be Twitchy.
I just look at her and I'm like, he deserved far less kindness than you provided him.
Sometimes you can attract more flies with honey.
I don't know. I think we could have motivated him quite well with fear.
I think it might have broken his mind.
He's
He was
already broken.
already anxious and on high. He was ready to break.
He deserved to be broken.
That's where our opinions differ, but I understand and I respect you, and so we will move on.
All right.
Shall we go check out this stone moor? Any
Yeah.
knowledge of, like, do we have any knowledge about the area?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check. Let's do it.
How about a 20 for Ritzko?
20 for Ritzko. So Ritzko, what do you know about the Stonemoor district? It was once the home of the Parkhurst themselves, who were the original founders of the Titan City colony, the Parkhurst colony at the time. And it was definitely sort of where all of the well-to-do families of this area built their mansions prior to the American Revolution. After the Revolution, most of the gentry moved into the city proper and they started kicking off the industrialization and all that. But the neighborhood itself is sort of this desolate, misty moor of ancient, rundown mansions, cliff sides, pretty much anything that would be present in a Victorian ghost story.
Okay.
It's typically abandoned. Occasionally, a criminal gang or something will move into one of the old mansions.
That being said, it sounds to me like this would be an area that potentially you could notice if anything has been disturbed.
I think that is a fair assessment.
And Amelia, what?
What did you say? You cut out.
Oh, I was asking what you rolled.
27.
27. So with your 27, that's a natural 20, Amelia. You know about a specific building out there that is newer than the older mansions, but is still abandoned. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, a hotel was opened out there for visitors from across the ocean or visitors from other states coming in to spend time in Titan City. That hotel happens to be called the Curiosity Spa Hotel.
Wasn't curiosity capitalized in the letter?
It sure was.
Great.
There are rumors that this hotel is abandoned and haunted, but it hasn't been confirmed by anybody at the Titan City Chronicle right now. Not that there aren't individuals who may or may not know more about that in Titan City.
Do I know anyone who was associated with that since I was alive during that time?
Do you have the connected or contacts advantage?
Wait, I don't know. Hold on. Contacts. I have contacts.
Awesome. Let me look up exactly how contacts work. I think I wrote that down in your sheet. Oh, I sure didn't. That was dumb. Come on, past Alex. What are you doing?
Laying down on the job, clearly.
Yeah, it just
That's
says
me.
description.
That's not very descriptive, is it? Don't worry.
No.
I've got it right here on page 134 of the Deluxe Heroes Handbook. Contacts. You have such extensive and well-informed contacts, you can make an investigation check to gather information in only 1 minute, assuming you have some means of getting in touch with your contacts. So please go ahead and give me a second investigation check.
That time I got a 17.
Awesome. So you sort of go to a payphone out on the street, start calling around, and you are able to find out that sure enough, there was a ghost hunt conducted at the Curiosity Hotel a little over 20 years ago. A ghost hunt that was conducted by one Anson Walker.
Oh no. Do I know Anson Walker?
You probably know. You definitely know of Anson Walker. I don't know if you know him personally.
Okay. Do I know where to find Anson Walker?
As a matter of fact, he's in the yellow pages.
Oh. Beautiful. I'll look him up.
He's got an office in the Olympus district. But in the real shady, dark, dirty side of the district, closer to towards Yorkberry, down by Club Tartarus.
I'll tell Ritzko what I know, and then do you want to go see him?
He may be able to afford us some information.
Okay, off we go.
Since you know him, I'll let you begin the questioning.
Okay.
Awesome. So you guys head on down to 1991 Prometheus Way, and you make your way up to the 4th floor and the 6th door on the left, and you find yourselves in front of a frosty window that says Anson Walker Exterminator on it. The door is closed, but you can hear a little bit of music playing from behind the door.
Would you like me to rap on the door?
Nah, I got this, and I'll rap on the door.
Okay.
You rap on the door, and a couple seconds later, the door opens up, and you do see Anson standing there, little disheveled, little drunk. His coat is off, but you can tell he's got one dress shirt sleeve that's just not quite all the way rolled up. The other one's rolled up. His vest, the buttons are open. He doesn't have a tie on.
Well, I suppose it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Haven't you ever been to Club Tartarus? It's 5 o'clock everywhere.
I can't say that I have.
Amazons. What do you guys want?
May we come in?
That depends on what you want.
We just have some questions for you.
Sure. Fine. He gets out of the way and lets you guys come into this small, sort of cluttered office.
How bad does it smell in here?
You have been in a couple of West Virginia moonshine stills, and this smells worse than that.
Oh, beautiful.
It smells kind of like rotting wood and paint thinner. Very thick paint thinner. And old stale smoke.
Charming.
I have some questions about a mansion in Stonemore.
You and every other kid in this town. What about it?
You did a ghost hunt 20 years ago there. Can you tell me anything about the mansion?
Sit down. Give me a second.
Okay. And I'll sit down.
And he'll pull a big bottle of cheap bourbon out of his drawer. You guys want some?
No, I'll pass. But
Yeah,
thank
actually, I could. Do you have a clean glass?
He waves his hand and the glass cleans itself.
Oh, beautiful. Thanks.
Do you have tea?
Or your handle. No, I don't drink tea.
Pity.
Can't feel it. Can't taste it.
Okay.
You've killed your taste buds with the alcohol. I totally understand.
Killed my taste buds with the curse, not the alcohol. Alcohol's all I can taste. Who's your friend? What'd you say your name was? Amelia?
Yes, I'm Amelia. This is Ritzko.
You didn't tell you guys not to come down here at the Blackburn house?
No, but also you are the only one that I know of that has been to the specific Stonemore mansion that we are investigating.
Or
So,
we're trying to investigate.
yes.
Which one was it again?
The one that you did the ghost hunt in 20 years ago?
Isn't it the Curiosity
Yeah.
something or other spa thing?
Now, why in the world would you want to go to the Curiosity Hotel?
We are investigating a murder. In fact, a serial murderer. I'm sure you've heard of him, the butcher.
Yeah, I heard about it, but nobody hired me to deal with him, so that's I guess that's the city's problem.
Wow, that's why we're here. She'll pull out the letter from the butcher, and apparently he knows we're on his trail, so he's leaving us little breadcrumbs.
You guys tell him that you figured out his letters on behalf of the detective?
No.
How do you think he knows that? Probably just being paranoid. Don't think about that. Well, the Curiosity Hotel is it is one of the most haunted buildings I've ever been in.
Okay.
There were, when I went there were 10 to 15 individual spirits haunting that place. A lot of unfortunate murders happened there. There was a fire, there was a shooting, there was a adulterating widower who threw himself off of the roof, a couple of kids who accidentally killed themselves with a gun that somebody left out. Pretty sure somebody got stabbed. But I'm pretty sure I dealt with all the ghosts there. I have a map of the hotel if you want that.
That would
It
be
could be
helpful.
helpful.
It was built by a what the hell was his name? Carl Leandros, that eccentric billionaire, the guy who did the amusement park for the World's Fair. So probably some secret passages or something. Would be a handy place for a serial killer to hang out. Would be the kind of place that they'd be drawn to also.
Okay. It does sound like it has a history that would be definitely alluring to this particular one.
Do you know of any back ways to get in?
I went to the front door. I believe there is a way in through the kitchen on the ground floor that kids usually dare each other to go in through.
Yeah, you don't strike me as the type of person for stealth, and you just walk right in.
Don't have to be when you're like me.
Like you.
Invincible. Immortal. Blase. Take your pick.
No, you and I aren't that much different then.
She's new, isn't she? He looks at Amelia.
Newer. But she's good.
Might have to pop back down to the house and renew my reputation. You guys seem a little too chill about being here.
Actually, if you just stay out of our house, that would be ideal.
No, I'm rather curious.
Ask Kara about it. I'm sure she has some stories to tell.
Indeed, I might, but I have more pressing matters to attend to, as you can imagine.
Oh, by all means, go save the city. Go stop a serial killer or whatever.
By the way, since you seem to be pretty aware of the goings on within the city, any chance that you're aware of any Yakuza moving around within the city?
Sound like a haunted sock puppet? What's a Yakuza?
Japanese gangs.
Oh, a human problem. Haven't heard anything. I've heard of that Chinese gang that's moving in down to Chinatown, the Orange Gang, but nothing about any Japanese folks.
Duly noted.
I know that I don't think the Kellys or the Russians or the Chinese would appreciate another gang moving in on their turf.
I suppose they wouldn't, but
You could talk to that kid gangster guy. He's that fella down in Baywash with the enzyme problem, the gland problem. He's a little kid, but he's a grumpy gangster.
do you have a name? Or shall we just go ask around for the enzyme challenged small man?
Gangster.
His name's Kid Gangster. That's what the kids are calling him. He's a super villain.
Super villain.
That's what these guys are calling themselves. Can you believe it?
Mm-hmm.
It's unconventional.
Before we take our leave, can you think of anything else that might be helpful in our investigation?
If you head back to that hotel, I'd advise bringing some kind of spiritual protection. I dealt with the ghost I was hired to, but the hotel has a number of other occupants that I didn't quite see fit to get rid of.
Understood. Your help is very much appreciated. I do hope that, and she looks around at the papers that are strewn about. I hope that you can get to the bottom of all of this.
You're an interesting character. Let's go.
Oh,
I will get to the bottom of whatever I find here.
very
You
good.
guys run into a little Irish fella. What's his name? Liam. Tell him I dealt with that lich.
I will do so if we happen to run into.
A small Irish fella named Liam.
Yeah, smokes a lot.
Okay. Thank you,
Good thing-
Mr. Walker.
Good thing she has an eidetic memory.
Thank you, Amelia. Always an interesting experience.
Well, then, we should probably take our leave. Ritsuko will stand and she will bow deeply and she will make her way to the door.
And I'll follow her. If by any chance you would want to help, you know the mansion to find us.
You know my fee.
Yep, you're always real cheap.
I think my prices are reasonable compared to the services I provide.
Okay, Anson. And I'm just gonna walk out.
He's a charming fellow.
Yep, always is.
I bet on the disheveled and boozy side, but charming.
Uzi is wording it in the best way.
At least we got some information. I don't feel that I want to go charging up there at the moment. I think we need to heed his warning, but also he did bring up a very curious point. How was it that we were known by the butcher? Perhaps we should go pay a visit to the detective.
I agree.
So we will go to see Detective Wolf.
Perfect. You guys are just riding half ragged all over the place today.
You
He's just
know,
driving you guys around, listening to Frank Valentine on the radio. He's having a good day. He's away from the office.
sunshine, good music, good company, and then no company. So, I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful July day.
Until the thunderstorms roll in.
Well, that part comes for the climactic finale. So yeah, you guys head back to the 5th precinct, that very small police department nestled away inside Bayside. And when you get there, you see that the station is sort of in a tizzy. There's a whole bunch of activity going on. You see a couple of the squad cars are up. They've got their lights on. And you see there's a bunch of the police officers. Some of them are sort of shaken and leaning against the walls outside. Some of them are covered in ash. Looks like there was a hole blasted in the side.
Oh,
Curious. I see that you're having a bad day, but can we speak with Detective Roy?
The guy who's like leaning up against the police station looks up at you and opens one eye. He's like, "Look, lady, I don't know where the detective is. I don't think he was here when the bomb went off."
Bomb?
bomb went off.
Yeah, something in the evidence room.
Interesting. First, things are stolen from the evidence room, and then a bomb goes off in the evidence room.
Look, I wasn't the one sitting in front of the evidence door today. That was Charlie's job.
Where is Charlie?
He got blown up.
Ah, yes.
So there's a little Charlie over there. There's a little Charlie over there. I think I've got some Charlie behind my ear, actually.
Very pleasant.
I don't think so.
And you say that Detective Roy wasn't here at all.
No, he hasn't been in today. He left. He left. Well, that's not true. He was here this morning. He left a little bit after you guys did.
Do you have a way of reaching him?
Look, lady, what do you think this is? The Olympus precinct?
Okay.
Ritzko smiles.
I ain't got no radio. I think we had a telegraph line, but the line's blown from the explosion.
Understood. You've had a very rough day. And she walks up to him a little bit closer, puts her hand on his shoulder, and starts patting it very gently. But look, we have to talk to him now. And it's very important because it's dealing with the case that he brought us in on. And I'm having a really bad day too. So, what is another way that we can get in touch with Detective Roy before I start getting really angry?
All right, look. You can go to his office and check and see if he's got anything on his journal or anything on his calendars, anything, but I don't have a way to call him.
Thank you. And she'll bow deeply, smile, and walk into the precinct.
I feel like every time she bows deeply, it's not meant as a sign of respect, but as a sign of mocking.
I mean, you are a dick, so... And then I'm going to turn around and walk away.
Lady, I got blown up. I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hey, are you dead?
I'm not positive about that.
If you're not dead, then shut up.
All right, so Ritzko's going to actually go in, and I'm sure it's chaos and everything, but we would know where his office was, right?
Yeah, you guys have been in his office before.
Okay, so we're going to go into his office, and I'm going to do a little detective work of my own. Let's find out some fun stuff. Do you want an investigation, perception?
I want an investigation.
I'm also going to look around.
I rolled a 30.
Okay, yeah, I rolled a 17. You win.
So you guys are both taking turns searching through the office. Luckily, Wolf's office is sort of the smallest one in the building, in this small building, and it's the farthest away from where the explosion took place. So it's not been racked too hard by the bomb that was in the evidence room. As you guys are going through his desk and stuff like that, you do find there is a little black planner, and you're able to open that up. It's a month-to-month planner. You see, he does have all of the full moons marked out on his planner. He's got them accounted for. And you do see that he has a meeting today with a young man named Ryunosuke.
Does it say where?
It does say where. It says that they're supposed to be meeting at Cannon Park.
Off we go to Cannon Park.
All right, let's go get to Hef.
Poor
Our
guy.
chauffeur.
Hef's just leaned back the seat, and he's got the windows rolled down. He's comfortable in a nice shady spot, and you guys come up.
Guess what, Hef?
Are we leaving again already?
We are. We're going to Cannon Park.
I'm going to suggest to Mother that maybe some of you should be taught how to drive.
You don't enjoy driving us around, Hef?
Look, I do enjoy my time away from the workshop, but I was right in the middle of something very important.
At the workshop or while you were napping here?
At the workshop, I've got this project I'm working on.
Well, how about
Sorry.
we talk about it on the way?
His whole face lights up when you say, "Can we talk about it on the way?" And he goes off for the next 10 or 15 minutes on this long tirade about the specifics of this new capacitor he's working into the boiler and into the circuit breaker for the Blackburn house to make it work 0.003% more efficiently than it was in the past.
It's brilliant, Hef. It's brilliant.
Well, that's the thing. All this electrical grid stuff was built by Philistines, and I believe if I was given the ability to go down to Jupiter Enterprises and tell them exactly how they can improve upon their process, I can make the whole city run at 0.001257%, depending on usage by individual citizens in their homes.
You said Philistines, but I thought it was built by the Americans.
No. Americans and Philistines are very similar in almost every way.
Oh, okay. So it's interchangeable.
I would say yes.
I will remember that.
Of course you will. You have an eidetic memory.
I
remember
do.
that.
Amelia is just sitting in the back seat, just like in pain, visibly listening to this.
And you guys head off to Cannon Park, which was the scene of the second murder. And sure enough, sitting on a bench in the park, as you guys are sort of making your way around, you do see Detective Roy sitting next to Ryu on a bench.
God, not another one.
And Roy sort of looks up when you guys come around. Says, ladies, I wasn't expecting to see you back so soon.
Yeah.
I want to gauge how Ryu reacts to Ritsuko.
You mean insight check?
I would also like to do that.
I got a 21.
I rolled a 30.
Okay.
She's really interested to know what Ryu is thinking, feeling, and
If he's real.
if he's real, yes.
Amelia, you do see that this Ryu is registering who Ritsuko is and is having a whole range of emotional feelings about her showing up. Mostly, the biggest emotion you're sort of getting off of him is fear and excitement. Ritsuko, you're getting all of that also, but you're also getting the something short-circuiting in his brain thing that you got from the other one.
No, it's another one.
Gotcha. Okay. I look over at Amelia. It's not him.
Okay.
Ah, yes, Detective Roy. And who is your friend?
This is Dr. Hastings' valet and his one of his research assistants.
Oh, you don't say. Wow.
Ryunosuke Ishikawa, something.
Ishikawa?
Yeah. He well, maybe you know him. I mean, wait, is that wrong to
I
say?
sure do. We just saw him.
Well, that can't be true. He's been here with me for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, no, it's not. In fact, if you would like, you can see if he has a pulse. And we can probably guarantee he doesn't.
Roy's eyes sort of narrow as he looks at you and he looks at the Ryu. What are you talking about?
Just check.
I've been talking to this guy for.
I held the last one's hand.
Just check, Roy.
And he says, "You mind, sir?" And Ryu presents his wrist. And Roy's checking him. He looks up, he says, "Wow, I'll be damned. This is a zombie."
Yep.
Zombie clone?
What?
What?
What do you mean zombie clone?
Something. It's like a mix of the two.
Roy
Now,
said,
the question is, how many of these are there?
and the Ryu sort of sits back and he looks at you, Ritsuko, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but I
know you don't, and it's okay.
I can't believe you're alive."
Oh no, not this again.
Yeah, I am, but sadly, you are not.
What are you talking about? I feel like I'm alive.
But you're not. In fact, we just fought somebody that looked exactly identical to you, and as we fought that one, he fell apart. Literally.
That doesn't sound real. What are you talking about?
Somebody punch him and see if a piece falls off of him.
Before we get to there, Dr. Hastings is dead.
What do you mean Dr. Hastings is dead? Ryu stands up.
Dr. Hastings is dead in his subterranean lair.
What lair? He doesn't have a lair?
Yes, he does.
What are you talking?
And you will find about a dozen or so homunculi in there as well that we dispatched.
What are you talking about? That can't be true. That's crazy.
It does sound crazy, but the first thing we heard was some odd music, and that was when everything kind of went crazy.
Do you
And-
remember where you met Dr. Hastings, Ryu?
Both of you guys roll an insight check.
I rolled a 21.
I rolled a 17.
Both of you guys, since you know what you're looking for, you ask him that question, and again as he's like trying to answer you, it feels like his mind hits a wall, and you start to slowly see the light in his eyes kind of unravel, and he begins to look crazy.
Here we go.
Wolf, you might want to step away.
What do you? And roll for initiative, everybody.
Woo!
I'll move us back to the landing page so you guys have a token.
Yeah, because I kind of need that. Although if hopefully
Not letting me select mine.
yeah.
I have to assign them to you guys.
Oh, okay. Because I was
Oh.
like, it's not doing the little thing.
Yeah, right?
Let's go. Amelia.
Oh,
We're-
where I go?
We're just gonna sort of do this theater of the mind.
I rolled a 22.
See, I knew you were going to beat me at some point, and it had to have been in combat.
Of course.
You were waiting for it, though.
Right. At least we have a werewolf this time.
Yeah. Although I'm questioning as to whether or not he's on our side.
Yeah, we'll see. I think he's just pretty clueless.
I'm a damn good cop.
Okay, buddy.
Oh, Boston. I need to add a turn for Boston.
Did we just screw you up by having
Oh, no worries. All right, Amelia, you are up first.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna toss my shield at him. I'm not even gonna walk up to him. Just gonna throw it. And can I hit him like twice? Like, can I like have it hit him and then bounce off a pole and then hit him again?
Yeah, for sure.
I have the ricochet thing.
Yeah. And you have multi-attack for it too, right?
Yes.
Cool. So still just roll once since he's one target, and however high you roll, that's just how we'll flavor the extra damage.
Okay, I got a hold on. Can't see it. 20.
20. Awesome. Yeah, that is going to give you +2 damage, so DC 24.
Ugh.
He had a 26. So you throw the shield out, it bounces off of him, hits a pole, comes back and hits him, and comes back to you. And as it does, you hear sort of this loud metallic ringing coming from inside this Ryu that you didn't hear from the other one.
Oh no. He's a robot.
You do see that the flesh that you hit does peel back a little bit, and there is some sort of metal device underneath his epidermis.
Beautiful.
big word for Alex?
Everybody take a shot when I say a big word. Just reminisce on my poor picked on childhood years. Amelia, are you going to move or are you happy hanging out there?
I'm just going to hang out.
Awesome. Baston is going to say, holy shit, and draw his gun and roll off the back of the park bench and take a couple shots at Ryu. Uh, 15's not enough to hit him.
This
So
is going to be rough.
He hits the deck. He's firing with his 45. The bullets are zinging off and into the park, and you hear somebody scream nearby. Ryu looks down at the metallic noise that originated from inside him, and you see more and more of his mind begins to go feral as he is very confused about something. And he's actually going to jump out. He's going to try and bite Ritzko.
Ooh, not me.
And he gets a 19 to hit your parry, Ritzko.
Does not hit. I've got a 22.
So he comes down, and as he goes to bite you, you see his head sort of peels back, and he has these sort of large, gnashing metal jaws that emerge from through his gum line, knocking his human teeth out of the way.
Okay.
Ew.
Cool.
Ritzko.
Well, I'm going to attempt to grab him. So let's see if this works. And I do have what does it mean when it says that I can make a free grab check after an unarmed attack? Does that mean my unarmed attack or somebody else's?
That means after your unarmed attack. So you can try to martial arts him first and then make a grab check
okay,
afterwards.
then let's do that first. Do you want me to just roll the unarmed even if it was out of order?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So I rolled unarmed was 29.
That'll definitely hit.
And the DC, I don't know if you need the DC at all.
17 for the unarmed. Yep. He got a 28 to his toughness, but he could still get grabbed. Your grab DC is 12. I roll a strength check to avoid that. You're not able to get a good hold of him. You sort of you're doing your martial arts thing with him, and you see it looks like his mind is not connected to what his body's doing, but his arms are sort of Neo moving to block your moves.
Okay.
Would you like to move, or are you happy hanging out there?
I will move to kind of put some distance between the two of us.
Awesome. I should mention that I also gave Amelia and Ritzko hero points at the end of the last fight, and I forgot to bring it out loud. I just added them to your sheets.
Cool.
So you guys both have 1 hero point.
Swamp ninjas. They're great.
They are great. I need an ad or a shirt No, we need a green trucker cap that says Swamp Ninjas on the top. There we go.
Sounds
Nice.
perfect.
Amelia.
Okay, so that didn't work. So now I'm gonna pull my sword out and try to like shove it down his throat.
Rude.
Got a 23.
That will hit. You do have multi-attack on that. And that is just enough to get a +2 damage for that. So DC 24.
Cool.
That's a bruise and a daze for him. So what happens to him?
I don't know. Like, I just shove it down his throat and maybe knock out a few of his metal teeth.
Awesome. You do see the blade sort of come down and it starts to distend the flesh around his neck, and that begins to tear open. He starts oozing this. It smells like embalming fluid.
Ew. Don't love that.
And Baston will stand up and say, "This is the grossest fight I've ever been in."
Welcome to our world.
You guys deserve a promotion or a raise.
Mhm.
And he's going to disengage from the fight, and he's going to start trying to move civilians out of the area.
That's fair.
Ryu has a sword in his mouth. He is going to bite down on that sword and try to smash it.
Oh.
So he has improved smash, so he doesn't suffer a penalty to this check. He has to roll to hit the sword, which is against your parry. Your parry is 26, so that will succeed. Will you please roll a d20 plus 7 for me versus DC 25?
D20 plus 7. Oh no!
So 12. He does destroy your sword.
Sad dad.
So you shove the sword down his throat. He bites down, and you hear this horrible metal on metal scraping sound as his metallic teeth sort of break the blade off, and he just swallows it down into his stomach.
I don't think
Ew.
it goes all the way into his stomach, just saying.
It goes somewhere. You see some of his lower body starts to distend and starts to rip as the sword blade is in there somewhere doing something.
I feel like that should be extra damage, but okay.
Creepy crawlers.
I'm a zombie.
Okay.
He's gonna go. No, he's dazed, so he won't do that. Briscoe, his daze falls off.
Alrighty, so I have I'm going to attempt to trip him and knock him prone. I have improved trip. Is that an unarmed roll?
It is an unarmed. Well, a martial arts for you.
Oh, is it martial arts?
Yep.
Which is not on here.
Oh, maybe you don't have a martial arts power, and I'm just inserting what I would have put on your sheet. Let me double check.
I have key strike, key blast, unless you want me to use those.
That's right. You have key strike. Okay, just do regular unarmed then.
It's a 12.
12.
But I don't have a penalty for a trip action.
That's good. 12 still not enough to hit his parry, but that means that you're not vulnerable to him, and you don't take a -2 to hit.
Yay.
So you go to sweep his leg. He jumps up over it. He comes down. You feel something scorch through the middle of him as the sword blade still moving around inside him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm also going to take a move action to put some distance between the two of us.
Amelia.
Okay. So now I'm a little bit mad about my sword. So I'm gonna try to shield bash him.
You can't swallow that.
Right. I'm not gonna put it down his throat this time.
Gonna knock off his head.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got the sword in his belly. You could use that.
I got a 31. And this
Yeah,
one
he'll-
also has multi-attack, so can I use that too?
Yeah, you sure can. Ow. So that's a +5 damage for multi-attack because of how low his parry is.
Okay.
DC 27 toughness.
Ha!
You got a 25, so
Nice.
another bruise. What happens as you're fighting him? There we go.
Okay.
Hard.
I'm just gonna take like my shield off my back after he, eats my sword, and I'm gonna like bring it across so that it like slices his throat.
Awesome.
But I'm assuming it doesn't do anything because he is a robot.
I mean, you slice it, the flesh goes peeling off, and some of that embalming fluid leaks out, but you do see the metallicness on the inside of him.
Ew.
All right, Baston's going to take another shot since he is helping the civilians. Not D26. 20 will hit. DC is 19 for that gun. Oh, he takes another bruise.
Nice.
So, Baston, he's taking center mash shots. They're pinging into the flesh, and you hear them hitting the metal on the inside and ricocheting off. More skin is peeling away, revealing more of that endoskeleton. And as more of it gets exposed, you do see it looks like that metal is grafted almost directly onto his bones rather than being like a robotic shell on the inside of him.
Ew.
And Ryu will throw himself after Ritsuko since he's running away.
She's not running away. She's just put a distance.
He will use 5 points of all out and 5 points of power attack. 22 to hit your parry DC.
That just meets it.
Awesome. Toughness save, please. DC 30.
Oh no.
That's an 11.
That's dead if you don't want to spend your hero point.
I will spend my hero point.
Give me the hero point. Let me steal it.
No, that's the technological god saying once again, PETA needs to keep that. Dag nabbit.
I'm an electronic atheist.
So that's a 23 then.
That's a 23. So it's a bruise and a daze.
Okay.
So yeah, he sort of on all fours lopes over to you, leaps up, and sort of grabs you around the waist and drags you to the ground and starts tearing and slicing at you with his claws. And he's going to get
Really?
fatigue so he can bite you. That was only a 15 hit that time, though.
No.
So you're defending yourself. He's biting down into the dirt around you. Ritsuko, it's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna attempt to use my key blast. Let's see. Well, no, I'll just do my key strike against him. We'll see what happens. That was a 21.
21 will definitely hit. DC is 25.
Yes.
And that affects insubstantial, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Well, that makes something weird happen to him.
What?
He rolls a 2 on his toughness save.
Oh my god.
Payback is a bitch.
So how do you dispatch him?
So at this point, so he's like clawing and raking and trying to bite at me, and basically I just go out and I know he's got that sword up in there, and I can hear it clanging around, and I can see that there's a portion of his belly that distends because it's perpendicular. So I basically take my hand up with the palm of my hand and I shove it up through his back body and push it back out, the broken portion of the sword.
Wow. So it goes flying out the back, but you notice that the key strike hit him more than hitting the body and the sword. It seemed to hit something metaphysical inside him. You seem to have connected with the energy that was animating his body and dissipated that. And he lets out this pitiful, just whelping noise as he hits the ground and stops moving.
And I'll roll out and get up and brush what I can of the grass stains off of my yukata and be like, okay, now do you
Or
believe
yukata.
me, Detective Roy?
What the hell was that?
Yeah, that's what we'd like to know.
I sadly walk over to the second half of my sword and pick it up.
I pat her on the shoulder like a mother.
Sad.
It is sad. What were you meeting him here for?
He said he had some information about where the butcher was staying.
And did we interrupt before he said it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't know for sure because I think Hastings and the butcher may have been working together. But Hastings is now dead because evidently the butcher knows now that we, and she points to Yulva and Amelia and herself, are on the case.
How would he know something like that?
That's a good question, and that's why I came to find you after we saw that your police station was blown up.
What?
Yeah, a bomb went off in the evidence room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got to get back there right away.
Nah, they're fine.
I think they've got it, but
Did you guys check the evidence room for clues?
No.
no, we needed to find you.
I'm touched.
I'm glad.
Don't be.
Duly noted, Miss Amelia.
I pull out the letter that the butcher left and I hand it to him.
Wow, he doesn't seem to like you guys very much, does he?
No.
I think he's anti-women as a whole.
Yeah.
Well, you sort of have to be to do what you did to those girls.
Yep. We also talked to Cecil, and he was a nervous wreck, to say the least.
Who was also visited by that, or one of them.
How many of these guys do you think there are?
I don't know. Did you? Because Ritzko didn't see the journal, so, and I don't know that you said anything to anybody about the journal.
I don't think I did.
The journal in Hastings' lab with all the R's and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess I'll mention that now. That seems like a good time to mention.
The
So
R1,
how many?
R1 through R6. There were 6 R's.
6 R's. Were there any crossed out?
There were not.
But there were some with X's beside them, right?
Yes.
How many were?
3 of them had X's beside them.
So I
3
don't
had
know.
check marks.
So there could be anywhere from 1 to 4 more.
What can you tell me about the Curiosity Hotel?
Well, I mean, it's an old haunted wreck. Bunch of people got killed there a couple decades ago, and I guess like a lot before that too, because of the haunting. But that asshole detective guy, he went out there and did an exorcism, I think.
Hanson.
Yeah, that's the one.
Man, everybody knows this Anson Walker.
Yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah, he told everybody in the world about magic, and now here I am being a cop instead of being a free-range werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
I fail to see the problem.
I have a job and a mortgage, and I could have just been living in the woods.
So that's a good thing, is it not?
Sometimes. And then sometimes I have a meeting with my work superiors, and I wish I could just like run naked through the woods all the time instead. You know how it is.
I'm afraid I don't.
No.
I mean, sure, we run naked all the time in the mansion, and we have pillow fights and things, but
You're making that up. Don't tell the guys back at the station that they'll be coming around there for noise complaints every day.
But all jokes aside, I am a little concerned that perhaps there is somebody within your department that is leaking information and in working in with the butcher.
We're really hoping it's not you.
No, it's not me. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly what somebody would say if they were doing it.
Look, granted, you're right about that, but look, I got enough to prove without having to deal with corruption charges or anything like that, okay? I'm just trying to make a good name for our people.
I would like to do an insight check. And that's a 29.
You think he's genuinely offended you guys accused him of being the narc?
I didn't accuse him. We
You have
mentioned
to,
it.
I believe you, detective, but you have to understand that this puts us in direct harm. He's going to come after us next.
Not if you guys go after him first.
Well, that's the plan, but I am concerned about people within your department that are basically working in cahoots with him. So you may need to be a little bit more guarded on what information you spill, unless it's information we want to spill.
Why don't we do something clever? Why don't we trap him? Or trick him? We got 2 locations, right? We got the steel factory and we got the hotel.
Correct. I think I'd rather not go to the hotel first because it's kind of, from what Mr. Walker stated, we will need a little bit more protection from the spirits there. So perhaps we can set up this ruse at the steel mill.
So you want me to drop a line at the department that we're gonna take a bunch of cars out to the hotel and turn the place up?
That should drive him to the steel mill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Let's nail this son of a bitch.
Sounds like a plan. Sorry to ruin your rendezvous in the park.
I thought he looked familiar.
You thought I looked familiar?
No, that guy, the zombie guy or whatever.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've seen a couple of guys who look like him around recently. I didn't want to say anything like people looking the same,
Understood, but we may, as she said, you might be onto something there. The other question that I have for you is, are you aware of perhaps any Japanese Yakuza or gang members starting to rise in the area?
Who told you about that?
Cecil.
We've heard rumblings. We've heard rumors. Couple of hits that didn't look like they belonged to any of the other recent gangs. Nothing in Bayside though. There was some stuff out in Admiralty, out at the shipyards and stuff like that. They were moving in.
Hmm.
Nothing major though. Just a couple of guys looking to make a foothold. I think make a name for themselves.
That is disconcerting.
Why, you think the butcher's a mob guy?
I don't know for certain, but somehow they're connected. Because everywhere we've investigated, this gentleman has come up, and the suit that did we mention Dr. Hastings is dead?
Yeah, you said that to the guy before he freaked out.
He's dead, and the suit that he was wearing, the clone, had essentially stated that he didn't normally see the doctor wearing suits like that, and that it looked like potentially somebody put him in it, potentially to send a message. The reason that I was aware of the potential for the Japanese gang is because the original of, well, the clone had initially stated that, I don't know which one was the original, which one's the clone, but the one that we ran into stated that this was suits that he wore. And I have reason to believe that he has connections with the Yakuza.
Awesome.
There was a character, a Japanese kanji on the lapel of his coat that I recognize from Japan.
This has got to be the weirdest collection of things I've ever seen.
Try listening to a security guard going on about swamp ninjas and crawdad starfish. That went on for an hour.
Terrible. That's just terrible.
It was awful.
Good distraction techniques.
Yeah, you guys are good. You guys are good cops. You know that.
Do our best.
I don't know how you do it every day.
Alcohol problem.
What is with all of the Americans and alcohol?
I mean, don't tell anybody. It's illegal, but just takes the edge off a little bit.
Tea is a lot better for your health overall. Just saying.
That stuff makes me sleepy.
Duly noted. Well then, shall we go to the station?
Yeah, let's get down to the station and we'll start putting that rumor around that we're gonna be busting up the hotel.
And what would you like to do with that?
What, that thing?
Yeah.
I guess I'll call it in. We'll get a couple of the hazmat guys down here to take it back to examine.
Yeah, we don't be lying around, and I think any information that we can glean from it would be helpful. And you might want to let your people know about Hayes and the mansion.
Yeah, I'll send a couple teams out to do some cleanup on some stuff. If you guys want to head back to your car, I'll get everything situated at the station and get we'll get this son of a bitch. The less I know about what you guys are going to be doing, I think the better it'll be for the operation.
Duly noted. Unless, of course, you want to drive us back to the station. Hef wouldn't mind having the time off.
Yeah, you wanna ride?
Yes.
And he'll nod his head and say, "Okay, yeah, sure, come on." And he'll
And
take
I'll
you
go
back to
tell
his
Hef.
police car.
What was that?
I'll go tell Hef.
You can give Hef your sword too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
He can go back to his workshop.
It'll be sad.
Oh, good.
Well,
you
now he
brought me
has
a
to go back to
project.
the workshop to fix your sword.
Oh yes, there's a light broken on this tree. I'm going to take it back to my workshop and I'll bring it right back.
Can't wait for Chris's movies.
Cool. So yeah, you guys give the sword to Hef. He goes off back to fix it and bring it back. Or you guys can pick it up on the way. You guys head back to the station. I'm just going to sort of blah, blah, blah some of this stuff because it's getting close to time and it's not really that important. What exactly are you going to tell the detective to tell to the other police?
That we're going to ransack the hotel and search for the butcher. All force is going to the hotel.
Seems pretty straightforward. And then are you guys going to take the day to prepare the steel mill and to ready your defenses and your trap and such?
Yes. So we want to only have people that we trust in on it. So I do think that maybe having the detective there would be very helpful to us. What do you think? Catherine, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm also considering hiring Anson to help.
We might want to save Anson for the actual going to the hotel, because he might be able to help us with the spirits.
He
Are
can
you
help
guys
us with
planning to
both.
go to the hotel?
Maybe
If we-
eventually, if we can't, if this plan fails, is basically my thought.
But what if it doesn't? We could use him for both.
I'll let you guys know we have one episode left, so
It's not going to fail, basically.
We're gonna die.
or it's gonna fail spectacularly.
Um,
I'm just saying, as many people as we can have there to fight the butcher is probably the better.
if you think we're going to need him,
I just wish I knew if he was some sort of supernatural being or if he's just a really demented human.
by the way, how tall is the detective?
The detective is very tall. If you had to guess, you would think he's probably about the height that Cecil mentioned. Which is taller than Ryu is. But not taller than two Ryus standing on each other's shoulders.
Okay.
Oh, the butcher's just three Ryus in a trench coat. Okay, I got it now.
I'm gonna lose my mind if it's the damn werewolf. Like, that just seems real mean, Alex.
What? No, I wouldn't be mean.
You're literally mean all the time.
I only made PETA kill the love of her life twice today.
Yeah, you know, he's probably not even really alive.
It's still better than that one time Catherine just gut shot her love interest and left him to bleed to death.
I don't care, dude.
Well, since Ritzko doesn't have any reason to fully suspect the detective, but at the same time still doesn't quite trust him entirely.
You guys are going to double cross. You're going to tell them they're going to the hotel. Then you're going to tell them you're going to go to the steel mill. And then you're going to go to the hotel and jump everybody.
We're not super sure of the werewolf. I'm even more we should hire Anson.
Well, how much is Anson's fees? And is, will the mother, approve?
And cost.
Anson costs. I have a canon answer to this question, so I got to look it up real quick.
Oh my gosh, Alex, how do you not know this offhand?
Look,
Alex.
it's different in every decade.
What is it, inflation?
Yeah, it's
God.
inflation. So his standard contract, he has a per diem of $10 to cover expenses, and the average price to start is $200. So $200 up front, and then $10 per day to cover his expenses and health liabilities.
How much money do I have?
You have access to the wealth of the Blackburn estate.
Am I allowed to use that?
Yes.
Shit.
Well, I guess we have that answer. We're gonna have Anson.
Brad. Ready Anson's character sheet, Alex.
I'm gonna have to find a guest star to play Anson. I don't want to do that. See Angela's article. You can't afford Samuel L. Jackson. Tired of these motherfucking ghosts in this motherfucking house.
Jess has suggested Brayden as Anson.
She has suggested it twice.
One
We'll
of
see
them
what
is
he's
in all
up to.
caps.
I vote Andy.
I vote I don't care.
It's
But
not
it
going
can't
to
be
me.
Brian because I'm on his computer.
Awesome. So you guys are formulating a plan. You're going to hire Anson to go and assist with the nonsense. Is the battle plan we're going to set a trap at the steel mill, or is it we're going to double cross the detective and go to the hotel?
No, I think that there is some. I think we're going to keep the plan as is. But Ritzko definitely lets Amelia and Yilva know that there's something about the detective, about his height, and just the fact got leaked, and we talked to him about sensitive information, and somehow it got out there. But she mentions that he seemed really sincere when I insinuated that. So I don't know.
Well,
She's
I
on the-
guess we'll see next week.
Perfect. So yeah, I think that is a great place to leave off, heading into our big finale next week.
Cool.
Which our big finale, I guess I should ask everybody now while we're all here, do we want to start at 7 or do we want to start at 8 and go through 10? Because next week is voting day here in the United States.
My personal preference is earlier because I'm fine with it. I've already voted, but I also understand that other people haven't. So
yeah, I have also voted. I voted today. See, I have a little sticker that says Ohio voting.
I haven't voted, but if I don't vote by then, I'll definitely have voted before then. So that won't affect my time.
Awesome. I'm happy to start at 7. I'm asking for the audience, not just you, Jess, to see if people will show up at 7.
I was going to say, it's not like I'm asking for the 6 o'clock or anything earlier than what the normal time was.
Yeah, no, I don't want to start earlier than 7. I just want to know if we should start at 7 or start at 8. So if anybody in the audience has anything to weigh in on that, that's awesome. If you do live in America, I urge everybody to please go out and exercise your civic privilege and your civic responsibility to go out and fight the fascists wherever they live. But I think if nobody has any objections, we'll go ahead and just start at 7 next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Cool.
That is when polls close here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem.
Yeah.
And everybody's probably going to want a distraction other than ennui and drinking themselves into a coma thanks to the American electoral system. But thank you everybody who tuned in this week for the Bayside Murders. I'm very excited to see where the Amazons think it's going to go for our big finale as we finally face off with the Butcher. Or maybe the Butcher gets away, who knows? I don't know.
No, not getting away.
Please make sure to register for UConn if you have not registered for UConn yet. If you intend to, I have a couple of spots in some of my games still, so I would love to see some people come in and hang out with us. Please come back on Friday to listen to our Something Dragons podcast, and on Monday where we have the season finale of our Born of Rage season 2. So next week's going to be a big finale week. And then starting the week after our finale here, we are going to be debuting our East Texas University game, which will be GM'd by the wonderful Laura, who was Isabella in The Secret and the Mystery of Parkhurst Manor serial. She has so graciously come on to lead myself and Catherine and Jess and Andy and Kevin through our first freshman semester at East Texas University. It's going to be a whole bunch of fun. It's going to be very Buffy, very exciting, I think. And then after Werewolf, in November's on Mondays and in December's on Mondays, we're going to be doing one-shots with a bunch of different game systems. So we'll have something new every week, new players, new GMs, whole bunch of faces you haven't seen on the channel before. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming in the next couple of months here at the Untold Stories Project. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for us tonight. Please stick around for the raid. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to wear your masks, go out and vote, and Black Lives Matter.
Bye. Oyasumi nasai.
Bye.